I go back sometimes and check Facebook and YouTube, and I realize this gets posted to my stories, and I'm like, gosh, well, that must be weird if anyone sees it, because I'm not really doing anything in the first couple of minutes of these live sessions other than just getting settled and waiting for people, So, but anyhow, hello. I'm talking to myself right now, so if you're seeing this, you're probably seeing it on recording. But anyway, I'm about to do some readings for anyone that chooses to join. I've been doing this for, my gosh, it is getting on for 7 years. I've been coming on here doing live readings like this, and so what's why? Maybe I haven't said that for a while. When I first got into metaphysics and spirituality and so on, this was in London. It was 2001. I can remember, and drift into a couple of the metaphysical stores because they were actually all quite close together in London, and go to one and go to the next, and then that be that. And I was into music, and all the music technology and instrument shops were around there as well. But at that time, and it was 25-ish years ago, I just wanted to dip my toe in and see and just ask a question, and that was it. And I want to open the doors for any of you to do the same. Although people see me regularly for longer sessions and healing work and so on, maybe you don't have a whole list of questions, and I can honor that. What I also find as a practitioner of energy is that a question. Words can be deceptive, because we can ask in a question something so simple, yet what it is tethered to in terms of energy is big. It's massive. It's a big load, and so we've got this disproportionate. We've got this asynchronous situation where I can say I have a stomachache, right? But actually, the energetic load of a stomachache is considerably big because it's bothering me during the day. It stops me from doing things. For example, tried things that don't work. This is all just an example. And so a simple question can actually have a comparatively large energetic load, and it's worth thinking about. And so that's why I do this. I don't get to. I'm not getting to go on the road as much as I used to, and so this is something I can do. I can be in contact with some of you. So see, we have a question here. So let me just get some music on. And sorry about this. I thought it was all set up already. There, boom. Boom. All right. So Jill. Will you please read on my plans for next Thursday? Is it better for John and I to return home after our appointment same day, or to stay overnight and book it home? Love that expression. Friday morning for traffic. So return home same day or stay overnight. All right. So Jill, these readings are surprisingly similar. Like so similar. So let me just see if it's leaning in a particular direction. Sometimes it will. Jill, the readings are so similar. I feel like you can approach this with, let's just see how we feel afterwards. That's what I would. That's what I can recommend. I think you know me well enough. That would never be my cop-out answer. It's not a cop-out answer, but I just feel like this is not. I think that's it. I think that's it for you. So don't make it don't make it so big in your mind here. Think about, oh, I actually have a choice, not something bad will happen if I don't, or what can I do to avoid something. I don't get that. I don't get that. I see benefits to both. So see how you are feeling. See how you're feeling when after the appointment. I think that is the wisest thing to do here. Yeah. And that's unusual, actually. It's unusual to see open possibilities like that. Natasha, where'd you go? Where did you go? Please have guidance on the next 2 weeks. Yes, of course. Of course. Okay, so sometimes when I answer this question for you, the weeks look like they're their own chunks of time, their own bodies of work. But I think there's something a bit more connected here as I'm looking at it. This next week, let's just take it from Tuesday to Tuesday, okay, rather than splitting hairs. This next week, my guidance to you is really look at where you are, where you're kind of leaking energy. It always goes both ways, because the things we do that are in our flow to do will go better. But when we're doing things thinking, oh, I should do, what would happen if I don't, right? That's when I'm seeing you getting a little heavier. So my guidance to you of this next week, Tuesday to Tuesday, is be very decisive, but there's a word. What's that word? I don't have the word. I want to say almost mercenary about it. Use time like you would use money in the next week or so. Now, why I'm saying that is because I see something a completion of something healing for you next week. Okay, the first thing that's going to go through your mind when that's happening is, I don't like this. This is not nice, because the last part of that is never nice, is it? Right? When something is just getting released, and then it will. So my guidance to you next week is, when you're faced with something and you're not liking it, really not liking it, give it time. Like count to 10, give it 24 hours. Think in your mind, this is going to pass. Not just this too shall pass, but this is going to pass. It's like the last part of opening the door and releasing. Okay, but they are connected, because I feel this week prepares you for next week. Because if you don't have too many things stacked up on you next week that you said you do that you didn't want to do, as it were, next week, that closing of a loop is going to be easier for you. All right. I see on YouTube, Sally's joined. You don't have to do anything, Sally. I'm giving readings for people. I'm live here on Facebook and on YouTube. You don't have to do anything other than watch or ask a question if you wish. I'll probably be doing this next week also. Okay. Where do we get to? Janice, what did you say? I've relapsed vertigo and daily dizziness. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you have insight? You have relapsed vertigo and daily dizziness from an MRI appointment. Okay. Sorry to hear that. Janice. Yeah, this is, I'm really glad you're having this checked out, Janice. You know, in case any of you think I'm just being like, oh, it looks fine, and everything's, pray to God. No, I'm really glad you're having this checked out. I don't know when the MRI is, but there is something you need support here for. I do see that clearly, Janice. Listen, I do spiritual work. I do vibrational work. I'm very much into and about energy coherence. I'll also look to support the physical body in the appropriate way, and I am a fan of the medical community too. So I do think you need the support that from what is going to come from that MRI. There is a window, a window that I look for as a healer. I look to see, given the etheric activity going on between I look to see what is the etheric activity going on between the energy field and the human body systems. Okay, how are they responding to each other? If something can be done on the energetic front that actually tangibly supports the body system, and I can see it happening in real time, I will work with that. Often we affect the environment, it will support the body system in a positive way. I do feel you need the medical support here. I'm not saying that to concern you, right? I'm not saying that to concern you. That is the read I'm getting, and given that, given that I do see recovery, should we call it recovery? Because this isn't how you want to be feeling every day. I do see recovery in time, but it's going to be a gradual process. Okay, there is not a click of fingers happening here with this. So I hope you can hear me there, Janice. I'm not suggesting colorful solutions, very much down the middle of the road here for you. Lisa, is the online mastermind cohort I created in alignment in terms of abundance in my business? Okay, I need to read that again. I didn't quite understand. Is the online mastermind cohort I created in alignment? What? Wait. Is the online mastermind cohort I created in alignment in terms of abundance? What? I'm trying to understand the sentence here. Alignment in terms of abundance. What? I see. Is it going to return well in compensatory ways to you? I see. I got it. Okay. Yes, Lisa, I do feel that. Remember to feed it with your intentions. It's like watering a plant. It's like watering a plant, right? Every day I would need to consider the attention it needs. I need to give that to it, right? It might be an online thing. Don't let your mind leave it there. It's a living thing. It's a dynamic thing. You need to feed it. You need to feed and nurture it, and that actually is what returns back to you. Yeah. Where do we get to? Michelle, Simone, can you please let me know if Joao and I will have a future together? Simone, I'm not seeing that here. I'm not seeing you and Joao together here. Okay, may I be wrong? I'm seeing you on your own path with regard to him. I'm not seeing that. Okay. Michelle, looking for some guidance with your job. Well, so far I'm liking what I'm seeing. I am liking what I am seeing. You don't seem to be very active and engaged there at the moment. I'll say that. Oh, okay. Somewhat take back what I just said. But you want advice on your job. Okay, right. The advice, if it were me and I read for myself, this is what I got on if I had a job. What I would do, I would speak to my employer. I'm getting is a mail here. I'm getting a mail, and I would ask him what would you do in my situation? That's what I would ask if I had a boss. I was looking at, and I was in your position. I'd ask him, what do you suggest I do? Right. And then the questions will come. Are you happy? Not especially. What's wrong? Well, it's not super wrong, because this is what I'm getting here. I just don't feel that it's necessarily going somewhere, is what I would say in your situation. This is what I would say to an employer. Okay. But specifically, Michelle, I would invite advice from that place. Okay. So what do I suggest you do? I suggest you speak to your boss and whatever, employer, line manager, whatever, and say, what would you do in my position? How do I progress from here? Okay. And I realize that's, in some ways that's diverting the answer, but that's what's in your domain to do, Denise, any tips, guidance for the rest of the week or so? So actually, Denise, I don't, because the flow looks really, really good. There's going to be those times when we have to just put out a bit more energy, put in a bit more effort. I'm having one of those weeks myself, actually. There are those times as well when we need to let it come to us. And that's one of the weeks, that's the kind of week I'm seeing you having. And to the extent I'd say, what can you do that's fun? What shows are you watching that will make you smile? Where can you go? Who can you talk to? It's the same piece of guidance is not always true on the same day, right? The same piece of guidance is not always true on the same day. So sometimes we'll want to create that field around us. We want to create fun and joy, a levity and inspiration, so things can come to us. Sometimes we need to knuckle down, right? Knuckle down, focus, put in, generate, and that's how we have it come to us. Sometimes we need air, sometimes we need music, sometimes we need rest, sometimes we need hydration. Okay. But for you, this is a week to be in a place of, I want to say, happy, contented receptivity, not passivity, receptivity, to let it come to you. Okay. I'm going to just go over here to YouTube, and Sally asked, in the in-between of sleeping and waking In the in-between of sleeping and waking this morning, I had a clear awareness of being in a place of spiritual blindness. Can you give me a direction to understand this? Okay, spiritual blindness. Yes, Sally, this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say. It's obviously not about blindness, right? It also happened before you woke up. And there's a couple of different meanings there. It's reasonably obvious. Obviously, yes, before you wake up in the morning, but also before you wake up to a new level in your life and in yourself. This is not going to happen overnight, even though it happened at night. It's not going to happen overnight. You have the question about blindness. What does it do? It makes us appreciate our sight, makes us see ourselves better. Now, to get to the actual freaking point, you are not spiritually blind. You're not going to be spiritually blind. This is about showing you what you're just taking on too much of. If you're watching at the start here, I was speaking with someone over on Facebook here, and the advice and guidance to her was to look at the next week or so and make clear decisions. Do I need to be doing this? Do I not need to be doing this? Right, and that's a clear toss up. You, Sally, you instinctually will take on for other people, and I mean energy, and I mean activities. I mean both of those, and you get very full. Now, you do it in a very reactive way. You could say that can be a spiritually blind thing to do. And I mean, that's not a criticism. It's think about blinders. If we got blinders on, we only see this and we don't see this. And when we're reactive, when we behave reactively to people, even if we think we're being positive, it's still reactive. It's still blind to other possibilities, to other people taking care of themselves, for example. Okay, so see it Sally, see it, if you will, as a way of you being woken up to new possibility. And just because we wake up doesn't mean we immediately do it. We wake up every single day, and often we are the same person as we were yesterday, right? And so see this morning and this right now as kind of a sequence, and look at the rest of the day, look at the rest of the week, and think, what do I actually need to do? What do I actually need to be walking through the week with and the day? What can wait till tomorrow? What can wait till next week? What can wait till next month? What do I just not need to do at all? Think about that. The more that you lighten your load, the more that you can receive. I think I've said quite enough. And Judy, will I get a state contract I've asked for? Will it be a good one? Tanya, I'll read for you after this. Judy, will I get a state contract I've asked for? Will it be a good one? Judy, I'm not getting the answer I would like to see for you here about the state contract. I'm not sure why that is, but I'm getting a no or not at this time about that. Yeah. Sorry to be the bearer of news that you probably not want to hear. Tonya, where did you go? Should you go visit Will and Kaylee in June around his birthday, or is that not a good time? Yeah, that looks really good, Tonya. A couple of things to plan ahead, as it were, to figure out. But that looks already quite simple. Looks really good. Looks really good. Looks really good for everyone. I have a question here on YouTube. Can I ask for guidance for my connection with this individual? It's bringing up a lot of emotions and thoughts, and most of them are not so light in nature. Can I ask for guidance for my connection with this individual? Yes. Yes. Given that I can't have a conversation with you about this, this is the quickest way. Very often in life, we will encounter other people, of course, and not enjoy it. We will have friction and attrition with them. And the wise ones have said in the past that that's how we clean each other. That's how we clean each other's consciousness. On a high level, wonderful thing. On a human level, well, it sucks, doesn't it? Know that that is what is going on here, and treat the situation and therefore the person internally with yourself in that way. Think in terms of what a mirror they are for you, and this is going to be a lot easier, right? It's going to be a lot easier. One of the cards I've got coming down here is the Tower. Not going to be in your situation in life for much longer. And then what comes after that is really, really quite lovely. Okay, so can you try and see this situation, this person, like a doorway, like a gateway, as it were, like an opening to something else? And in your mind, when you think about them, even if it's not positive, and I get why it wouldn't be, okay, you ask the obvious question. You say, what's this trying to tell me? What is this trying to tell me about myself? Because that's what, in this case now, they are to you, a mirror, a reflection. You see it, and we see more. You see them more in that way. This is going to clear, and you know it will have cleared when you think of them, and there isn't a charge there. Scott, he said, how much longer to heal your physical body? Okay. You know, Scott, earlier on, I was talking about this window of time. In which something can happen a little sooner or take a little longer. So the period I'm getting for you is 6 to 14 months from now. So I'm not seeing quite the recovery you want to see in the next for another 5 or 6 months. All right. Then there's leeway, and this is the thing about this is the thing about approaching our health in a vibrational as well as physical way, because we can speed up what was going to happen anyway, right? And I'm saying this, I was at the doctor this week and told something I didn't really want to hear, a bit of a surprise, but it all applies to me too. So I'm seeing between, let's just say 6 months, 6 to 14 months, right? And of course, I would wish for you that is less time than more. Callie, is it in alignment with my highest calling to open a business with 2 people who are interested at the moment? Callie, it looks reasonably good. Actually, it looks reasonably good. Yes. Feel like there's more to say though. Just make sure everyone's bringing something to the table, including yourself, right? And for you, I want to say, keep focused as best you can on what the original idea is. Very often that's possible now, and that's possible now. Whoa. What did we say we were going to do? Okay. But I would say yes. Rachel. Rachel and Emily is after, answer Emily after this. Rachel, what are the best next steps to take for me to connect with my spiritual gifts? Okay. Wow. Well, Rachel, is it ever a good time to be? It's never a bad time to ask that question, is there? But gosh, it's really here for you. Maybe there is a good time to ask the question. Better times than others, and this is one of them. So I'm going to go a level in, level down, just so you know. but it almost it almost doesn't matter because it's such a ripe time for you here. Like it's time. The card of the fool, the circle, the new loop begins for you. It's and just do something, and momentum will be added to it. This was something the Spirit said years ago. Take a step, we'll take the next step with you. Take a step, we'll take the next step with you. You need us to take a step as well, right? But I do want to get a bit more specific here. Right. Not that this is a delay, it's not a delay, but please, 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 will you get clear with yourself why you are developing and using a spiritual gift? Okay. This right now, if I wanted to use this gift poorly, I could. Right? I could use this very poorly if I wanted to, and I choose deliberately not to. I use this gift, right, if we're going to call it one, sparingly with myself as well. Okay, so it's we can get very words. Having trouble with words today. With ourselves, we'll say that's a spiritual gift, but that's not. Now, in the eyes of God, everything is. Okay, and so use with the same eyes, but think what is a gift and why. Okay, what is a gift and why? Patience is a gift. Would you use patience for everyone? No. You use patience in certain cases. Application of effort is a gift, right? Discipline is a gift. Do you need that everywhere? No. Do you need it sometimes? Yes. Think of it like that to begin with as well. Secondly, Rachel, think in terms of co-participation. I'm not saying that spirit guide or that spirit guide. I'm saying spirit, spiritual energy, spiritual matter. That which coalesces to create thought, feeling, and then action after that activity. Because physicality is the last part of that. It starts as spiritual energy, goes to thought and emotion, becomes an action in our world. So think in terms of co-participation. I'm growing some food here, growing some plants, and I'm encouraged to think about the Davic realm and being in participation with them. When I go and do something like this, I think about the nature of spiritual connection, right, between me and any of you guys here. So think about that. I've said quite a lot. Number one, it's a great time for you. Great time for you, Rachel, to be doing this. Number two, use your gifts appropriately. And number three, think in terms of co-participation. Involve spiritual life in what you're wanting to do, whatever you're wanting to do. Okay. Emily, can I look into your role at work being changed and elevated and perhaps more compensation? Is there any progress? Yes. damn it. I want to see so much success for you, Emily. And what I'm seeing is advance and progress, and then it gets stopped. Advance and progress, and then it gets stopped. I do not know why that is. Okay, I do not know why that is. It's like it's like they want you to grow and succeed. Okay? But I don't see it culminating in that. I wonder if something is going to happen with the organization, and or at the same time you get a better opportunity elsewhere. I was thinking of you with this Bank of America golfing thing that's being done at the moment. But no, I'm sorry, I don't have the answer you probably want to hear today. While the right conversations are happening, I don't see it culminating in what you want to have happen yet. And I don't know why that is. Okay, got a question here on YouTube. Wanted to ask about a new connection I'm developing romantically. Is this something that might culminate as a marriage? Okay. Now, I have to read on the words that you are giving me. And you said culminate in marriage. And I'm getting a no on that. Now, I can only put myself in your shoes. And if I'd asked a question like that, where would my mind go if I'd been said no? Okay. I didn't say the relationship would end. You asked about marriage, and I'm saying I'm getting a no on that. I didn't say the relationship was going to end. Definitely, I really feel it's going to birth something else from itself. What that is, I don't know yet. And so, if I can give you the guidance to let this relationship play out, and become what it's supposed to be. Okay. You know, we always want to know. I'm not being condescending, really, not at all. We always want to know if I invest so much of myself, what is it going to be? What's going to happen? And just have a lighter touch with this. Yes, as it grows into what it's going to be. Cody. Perhaps my question didn't send. I'm not sure. I don't see it asking if I'm overreacting about some upset with my best friend. Was I misinterpreting the vibe by letting my postpartum rage get the better of me, or should I trust my intuition? You're asking if you're overreacting about some upset, and if you were misinterpreting. Cody, I'm getting that you were not overreacting. That you were not. I can appreciate your humility to ask the question, the self-reflection, of course. But no, I don't think it was postpartum rage, as you say. I think it was more about getting tired of dealing with the same thing and having said nothing for a while. Diana. Should I go back to work full time, or should I go continue with school? I'm almost tapped out financial aid. Class 1. I'm sorry to hear that, Diana. All right, Diana, both of these paths have their benefits and disadvantages, shall we say. I don't know what the opposite of benefit is. There's a part of me that would suggest you go back to full-time work. There's because you know it, you know that area, you know that world. I think you need a break anyway. And if you do, there's a part of you that's going to feel like you are betraying yourself. I didn't say you were. I said a part of you would be feeling that. We got that over here. On the other hand, you stay in school. You stay in school. I actually feel like the money to do that is going to present itself in some way. I actually feel quite confident of that. I do feel you'll be supported. And it is a lonely path, is it not? Right? It's a lonely path. And so I'm not going to say, I suggest this over this. I think you need to be with what I've just said there, and consider, really what's your truth right now. Do you want to break? Do you want to pause? Do you want to stop for a while, or stay in it? Okay, because there's a lot in both. So what are we near? We're near the hour. Play this back a couple of times and see what lands for you. See what gets the gut reaction as well. And Catherine, Cindy, you're so sweet. Catherine, will Richard get the 911 ready for the car show? 911. Oh, okay, so 911. Will Richard get the 911 ready for the car show? Got you. Okay. It's less likely than more, Catherine. Not saying it won't happen. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I'm like, I'm at a 40%. So, you know, I can't have a conversation with you about this, but I would ask you, what's your involvement in this? Does he need a bit of a push? I would say he does. Could he be moving a bit faster? Yes, I feel he could. And that's the wiggle room I think we got. Yeah. All right. I am at time, folks. This week I'm giving discounts on sessions, readings, and healing work. If anyone wants 25% discount, let me know. Just reach out to me, email me, message me, text me if you would like to do that. We'll set up a time. Just offering that this week as a Mother's Day thing. Can we all take a breath together, please? It's always nice to do that. We take a breath. We take a breath for a stressed world. Stressed, agitated, overworked world. We take a breath, which allows others to take a breath, a pause, a moment of relief and respite. We pray for humanity. We pray for this planet. We pray for the world. A prayer for each of you to have all that you need, all you need to be. May our path ahead be supported, and may we support others. All right. Well, wishing you all a great week. We have a wonderful rest of the week. Appreciate you joining me for this. I'll try and be on again next Tuesday, same time. And with that, I'll say, I'll see you later.